Brooksaw Antiques here. Today we have this 1975 Smith Corona Classic 12 vintage portable typewriter. I'm going to show you how to use the functions and make sure they all work. Classic 12 just means that it's got a 12-inch platen, so it's got a longer carriage than most portables. Usually comes at 10 inches, 9.5 or so. Up top is the adjustable paper guide. This helps you guide the page in straight. I'm going to line that up with the edge of the platen, which is the main roller that feeds the paper, and above that are the margins. I'm going to set this left margin around 2 or 3 and this right margin around 75. That's about the length of a page, and this is the paper support arm that flips up from the back. This is the paper bale that sits on top. It's got 2 adjustable rollers. Once you hear the bell, you're at the end of the margin. You hit this line space, gets you back to the beginning, and skips 1, 1.5, or 2 spaces. Right now we have it on single, but if you want 1.5, you just flip this switch back. It skips 1.5, 1 more. It skips 2. We're going to keep it on single for now and finish typing. As you can see, all the keys type nice and none of them skip or stick. I'll type a sentence on this next line of red. The switch from black to red. There's a switch on the right side. You flip it all the way down. It prints the bottom portion of the ribbon. When you have it in the middle, it doesn't print any ink at all. It just leaves a stencil for copying purposes. When you have it up top, it prints the top portion of the ribbon, which is black. So we're going to move that down for red. Beautiful typing machine, very popular model. It's got the nice color, very reliable typewriter. Daily typer, print is perfect. So I do recommend this for daily typing. If you want something that's going to last a long time, this is what you want. To pull the page out easier, there's a switch on the right side here. You just flip it forward and it unlocks the rollers underneath the platen, allowing you to pull the page out easier. Load thicker paper like carbon copy or cardstock. Make sure you flip that back before you load the next page, or else it won't load correctly. I'll flip this down for now. And I don't know if you noticed, I guess I'm a moderate speed typer, but you can type pretty much as fast as you want on this. And I was on the low setting, so you can even type faster than I was typing. Low, medium, and high. This is just attention for the keys. You do have to hit them harder for them to print, but they respond faster. I like it on low personally. Shift on each side and a shift lock on the left. To clear that, just hit the shift button again. Backspace on the left side too. Works good. Tab on the top. Right now we got 1 tab set right there. To clear it, hit the clear button on the right side of the tab. Now it just goes all the way to the end, and I always like to have one set somewhere in the middle, so that way when the tab gets hit again, it just stops there instead of slamming all the way to the end, causing wear and tear on your typewriter. You can set as many tabs as you want on this model. This typewriter has a couple cool functions that most typewriters don't have. One of them is it has 2 custom keys on the top ends, and you can, I don't think they sell, I mean obviously they don't sell them anymore. Smith Corona doesn't exist anymore, but they had these custom keys, and if you can still find them, then you can change them out. And most typewriters don't have an exclamation point in a 1 key, so it's pretty cool. And you just change out the cap on the key bar head here. So it's got a little cap on it that you can replace. Also, another cool function that typewriters don't usually have is the power space. So I hit it wrong the first time, but if you hit it right, it does like a machine gun space, which is pretty cool. And this other one, where if your key gets stuck, you push this button right next to it, it'll bring the keys down, so you don't have to touch them with your hands and get ink on them, apparently. MR below that stands for margin release. When you get to the end of the margin, it won't let you print past it unless you hit MR, and then it'll allow you to go all the way to the end. That works good. We've already done the color selector. It's also got a half a space, which I guess is pretty cool. This is the spool cover slides to the front, so you can access the spools. All the brand new ribbons loaded on this left side, so it's pulling to the right, and if you want to change that direction, you just push this lever behind the left spool back, and it'll pull counterclockwise to the left. You push it forward or up, it'll pull, since we're at the end of the margin, it'll pull clockwise to the right. And I've never seen a handle like this that's got 3 holes in it, or 4 holes in it. So if you know what that means, or if there's any use for that, please comment. Don't know what that's for. Maybe just for looks and make it lighter. I don't know. This lever underneath the right knob is the carriage lock, so it'll lock the carriage in the middle, so when it's in the case it doesn't go banging around. It protects the escapement as well, which is the gears that help advance the carriage. And the one flaw, if you watch my videos, I always talk about this, are these carriage release levers. They're very convenient when they are on there. Like these are the originals on this one, but they're made out of hard plastic, so they do break all the time. And since Smith Corona doesn't exist anymore, they don't make them, so I did design these and 3D print them. So if you need some, check out my shop. I got them in there for pretty cheap. Actually, they're like $7.99 or something like that per lever, which is, I think it's a really good deal. I'm just trying to help people out, trying to get these things, but these are the originals on this one. If you push in the button on the end of the left knob, it'll disable the spacing so you can get to an exact spot on the page. You let it go, you get those clicks. Each one of those clicks is a half a space on this model. Same concept with this lever on the inside. You push that down and it disables the spacing. Push it up, you get those clicks. And the end and set, let me get a close up on that. Right on here, the end and set, so when you load the first page, you go underneath the 11 and there's like a little indentation there. And that's where you want to load the page, and then when you load it all the way, and you're typing and your line spacing, the end will tell you you're getting close to the end of the page by an inch, and that's 1 inch, and then that's the end of the page right there. So that's what that's for. And that's it. Now available on eBay or Etsy. Search Brooksaw Antiques.